Want to take a shower with Mitch? Hey Siri, play Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon.
I couldn't find Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon in your music.
Ugh, she never works.
Direct from Montreal, Canada, this is Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon.
Welcome to this episode of Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. Joining me from a hotel room in Schenectady, New York, it is Night Ranger guitarist Brad Gillis. He is, of course, working on a solo album right now. We're going to talk about that. And Night Ranger has signed another record deal, so a new Night Ranger album is coming, and we also going to discuss that. And I had a chance to of course, see their show in Schenectady at the Rivers Casino on March 6th, and it was absolutely fantastic. This band just never disappoints. So do yourself a favor and support Night Ranger. They are on tour this summer with Whitesnake and Sammy Hagar. Before we get over to Brad, let me just tell you about this cool little contest I have. I have 2 prizes of custom guitar picks. So what you need to do, and I'll explain it all in detail, you have to go over to podchaser.com/Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. That is podchaser.com/Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. And you need to follow the show, like the show, and leave a positive review. Once all that is done, you will be automatically entered into a contest to win custom guitar picks made by Omega Picks. Omega are is the company that some of the members of Alice Cooper use, some of the members of Foreigner use, and others. So you can have any design you want. Each prize, there's going to be 2 prizes, are going to be for $100 of custom picks, which, if you have a simple design, is around roughly about 250 picks, give or take. But you will have this coupon for $100, and you can do whatever you want on the picks, whatever customizing you want. You know, of course, the more intense, if you have like 15 colors, you're not going to get 250 picks. You'll get a little less. But anyway, you'll have this $100 coupon. You do have to go over to podchaser.com/Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. Like the show, follow the show. But more importantly, you have to leave a 5-star positive review. And in April, Podchaser will select 2 winners and send you this coupon, and then you can have your own guitar picks. How's that? So if you're in a band, or if you just want a cool little sort of business card to hand out to buddies, head over to podchaser.com/Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. And on that, here is the one, the only, from the mighty Night Ranger, Brad Gillis. We are in Schenectady, New York, with Brad Gillis of Night Ranger. First of all, Brad, bonjour. Welcome to upstate New York.
Hey, kind of love it here. At least it's not snowing.
No, I actually left in a blizzard this morning to come here. But let's talk about what's going on with Night Ranger. You're on tour, of course. You're going to be on that massive tour with Sammy Hagar, which, admittedly, I'm jealous because that is a great package. So let's start there.
Yeah, we're kind of looking forward to that. We had we started out with Sammy helping us out back in the day. We were just Ranger, and he took us under his wing, and we went out and did a bunch of shows with him. And, Bill Graham was on our side back then in the San Francisco Bay Area, so that was great. And then, like I said, Sammy took us out. Then next thing you know, we're shopping for a record deal and got the deal. And in the last 37 years, we do a bunch of shows with Sammy here and there. Had a couple weeks last year, and we got invited to do this Sammy Whitesnake Night Ranger tour. It's like 40 shows, and they might be adding more. But it's all over the country, and it's going to be fun, man. Joel Hoekstra being, and Reb Beach from Whitesnake being alumni of Night Ranger, especially Joel.
That's right. Reb did, 2007?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He did, 6 months or a year, whatever it was with us. And so it'll be great to hang with those guys and just be on a nice amphitheater tour, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's going to be great. And since you mentioned that the past with Rubicon and that kind of stuff, you had Johnny Cola, who's in Huey Lewis in that band for like a hot minute.
Yeah, that was the start of it all for me personally. Out of high school, playing in club bands for about a year and doing real well, actually making money playing in a band was kind of cool for an 18-year-old kid, And I was too young to get in the bars, but I got a fake ID in Berkeley and I got away with it. But I really grew a lot doing that and learned how to play, funky ninth chord chicka licks and stuff like that. And then there was a band called Rubicon. They were auditioning for a guitar player, and they had a record deal with 20th Century Fox Records. And they heard about me, and they came in to see me playing with this club band and said, come on down for an audition. I guess they auditioned like 25 guys, and I was the last guy to go in. And they actually gave me the gig and gave me the cassette.
The great cassette to learn the songs.
And so that led to Rubicon getting a record deal with 20th Century Fox Records, doing a couple records, and we did the Cal Jam too, March 18th, 1978, the biggest day of my rock and roll life, 250,000 people,
Frank Marino's on that too, I think.
Marino, Mahogany Rush, Aerosmith, Ted Nugent, Dave Mason, Hart, Santana, Aerosmith, all these bands.
Everybody.
And it was just great for me to be in a band that, was playing such a big show, but it really didn't take off. We were trying to bridge the gap between funk and rock because disco was real big in the late 70s and the metal scene and rock and roll was kind of kicking in pretty hard again. And really didn't work. So Jack Blades was in the band and we stuck together and formed Ranger in about 1979, 1980. So that's where it all began. And like you're saying, Johnny Cola was in Rubicon for a bit. Because we had a 3-piece horn section. But, it's funny, all the Bay Area musicians that are intertwined in different bands and such and playing gigs here and there. And it's pretty amazing, and after, basically, 40 years of the inception of Night Ranger, we're still out touring, and can't beat that.
You can't beat that at all. And it's just amazing that the sound that the Bay Area had with Tower of Power and with Huey Lewis and Santana and all these...
Metallica.
Journey. They redefined it later on, but in fact, I want to keep this short today because we want to just sort of focus on the new. But you did mention 40 years going on to 50 years. What has kept the bands going? Because in those last 40 years, we've seen the Right Said Freds and the Culture Clubs and all these bands that come in and out. They're hot for a minute, and then they're gone. And yet you look at Aerosmith, you look at Metallica, you look at Night Ranger and Whitesnake. And we can just go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, man, that's a tough call because, first of all, you got to get along. You got to dump the egos. You got to, luckily, I consider ourselves not really an A band, but basically a glorified B band, we'll call it. I think we're like three or four hits shy of being an A band, but it's what it is, and we've sustained throughout our career. And, we started out opening, when we got a record deal in early 83, opening for Kiss, and we did ZZ Top and Cheap Trick and every band you could imagine we were opening for. And then, we had Don't Tell Me You Love Me was out and did real well on MTV and when it first came out. And then, we released the second record, Midnight Madness, and had Still Rockin' America on it, which did real well on MTV and radio. And then that little magic song that has sustained our career called Sister Christian. So, boom, all of a sudden we went to headlining status in about 1984. We started headlining all through the 80s. And then, we split up right towards the end because we had been doing 250 shows a year for quite a few years, all through the 80s. And we were all fried, basically. Yep. And then, next thing you know, the 90s come and here comes Nirvana, and it changed the scope of music on radio and everything else. So basically we'd broken up and everybody did other little things here and there. But we got back together in late 95, 96. The Japanese wanted us to get the original band back together and offered us a Japanese record deal and a tour. So we all got back together, and it was perfect timing because, it'd been 5 or 6 years since we had been together. And we did the whole run with that and through the 90s, and we just kept going and going. And we had a couple band member changes, but the core nucleus of the band is still there, which is Jack Blades, Kelly Keiki, and I. Yeah. And which is great because you still have my guitar going and singing and
two singers, yeah.
And then Jack and Kelly singing all the leads. So we've been doing real well, and we kind of changed agencies, went from William Morris to CAA, and all of a sudden we upped our game when we went to CAA, and they have all these great bands. We just signed with them 6-8 months ago. They got all these great bands to tour with. Next thing you know, we got all these tours and packages coming up that are just amazing. And we could probably do 100 shows this year. So I tell you, man, I think my lucky stars will still be doing what I love to do.
Yeah, it is absolutely fantastic. Now, of course, in the 90s, you did an album with Gary Moon, and in 2019, 2020, you've done an album with Gary Moon. So for fans that don't know, you're doing a solo album. And you just did a video for it. So it's getting closer to being released, I would imagine.
Yeah, so basically I've been working on the song for quite a few years, the album for quite a few years, because I had so many songs to choose from, and I just want a great song. So, just kind of honing in my production skills and getting Gary up. I had him up, like, he's in L.A., I'm in the Bay Area, San Francisco, and got him up for like 8 or 9 times. I've been singing all these songs and getting it together, and we're so close right now. But still, I'm touring, and I'm doing TV music, and it's just a lot going on. But I definitely want to finish this record, and we're to the point where...
Well, you've made a video, so...
Yeah, we made a video. My good buddy out of Philadelphia, Brian Isley, he is a vice president of this big company in Philly that does all the big commercials and people in bands videos and stuff. Good friend of mine. He flew out. He was in the Bay Area. He shot the whole thing in my home studio on an iPhone, just to be a little different, And he's editing it is now with this company, getting it all together, and looking forward to seeing that. And so we're going to have the first single called "Sex and the Money."
Which I've heard is a great song.
Yeah,
there's some great songs on this upcoming solo album.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been a long time coming, and it's about time to, you don't finish a record, you abandon it. You got to say no.
You let it go.
No more mixing. No, let it go. It sounds good the way it is.
Let it go.
So I'm to that point. And, it's kind of ironic because not only, my record coming out, Nine Reacher's got another record deal. And
yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, you were at Soundcheck today. We just started jamming on a riff and then added a B section and a bridge and, the chorus and everything. So we just kind of got a rough foundation of a new song. And we're signing with Frontiers Records over in Italy, who did quite a few last records. And so we're looking forward to doing that. Getting together, and we're get together in my home studio with the band here in about a month when we have a break in between a couple shows, and just keep pounding out this new record and try to get it done, 6 months, whatever it takes with our touring schedule.
And then have it out for like the spring of 2021 kind of
thing.
Exactly.
Once
you do the setup and the mastering and blah, blah, blah.
Something like that. That's where they're pushing for spring of 21.
Which would make sense because that sets you up for the touring schedule of 2021, which, hopefully will be another package date and hopefully will be another 3-4 bands. But musically, the last 3 albums that you have put out are probably 3 of the best albums you've ever made. Just sonically, they sound great. Lyrically, they speak to the audience. Do we sort of stick to that formula? Do we sort of think back of what we did in 1980, whatever?
Well, we stuck to the same formula for these records you're talking about.
Right.
Basically, we got the twin guitar attack from Kelly Kelly and me, and Jack and
you had Joe
Kelly.
Hoekstra at the time too.
Yeah. And this is the second album with Kerry Kelly on guitar. So, him and I get together, we, do the same format with, nice harmonies and split off to our solos and stuff. And Jack and Kelly trading off lead vocals and our formatted 3-part harmonies that we've done throughout our career, So basically the only thing that's different as far as musically is the production. The production's bigger now because everything just sounds bigger, and with Pro Tools and plugins and mastering gear and stuff like that, everything just sounds bigger and better and fatter. You listen to records back in the day and you listen to records from today, and you definitely tell the difference with something.
Production value has value.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. And we'll finish with this. You're going to be at M3.
Yes.
You have played M3 before.
Quite a few times.
It is a great festival. It keeps the scene alive. It keeps the spirit alive,
yes.
to steal from the Killer Dwarves of Canada. What does that mean to the band in terms of a festival and having festivals like that around that you can go play that keeps fans interested? Because it's really, there should be more. There should be an M4 and an M5 and an M6, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, they kind of keep it eclectically cool every year by changing bands up. So we go there every 2 or 3 years, you know. So they keep switching stuff up for the fans to come see new bands or bands they haven't seen in a while. But it is a 3-day festival, and they get a lot of people in there, and it's pretty crazy. It's pretty fun, you know. So we're looking forward to that. We always go to Japan. Been there basically 19 times. Probably did 60 shows there in the past 35 years of our career. So we always go to Japan when we release a record. And, you know, we got an offer for the Sweden Rock Festival opening for Guns N' Roses.
Nice. That's an interesting combination.
Yeah, that's June 7th or 8th.
And you had the Dawn of Madness shows. Are we done with those, or are we having a few more? Because I haven't seen one yet. So we need a few more.
I'm not sure we need it, but people that don't know what it is, we took the first record, Dawn Patrol, and the second record, Midnight Madness, which are 2 big records.
Yep.
They both went, you know, platinum, double platinum, basically both.
Yep.
And we've been doing a night of both records back to back. And it's a long show. It's an hour, a 2-hour, 2.5 hour show. And we play every song from both those records. And it's a blast because we had to go and relearn a lot of these songs that we never even played before, right. Which is kind of fun for us. But it is a long show, but we call it, you know, the Dawn of Madness Tour. So that's been going well. And we kicked ass in Japan 6 months ago. Sold every show out, 3 shows in Tokyo and 1 in Osaka. And you know, the merch flew off the shelves because, you know, nobody has a Dawn of Madness shirt
anywhere.
Yeah. So
let me ask you this: when you're relearning songs that you haven't played live or you haven't played in 35 years, do you sort of recall technique that you might have lost over the years and go, "Oh shit, what was I doing?" That's kind of like does it reteach you how to be Brad Gillis? In a sense?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a couple songs I kind of went, well, how did I do that? You know, but basically I did it, and I kind of remember what I did. But it's just relearning some of these parts that maybe you're not acclimated to.
Right.
But you know.
But it helps make a new record when you're going to do this new one in the fall.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at that. I'm
just keeping those chops up. But, so the Dawn of Madness tour thing we were doing, we did it at selected cities and Japan. But we might be doing a few more. I'm not sure what we got on the books now. We've got that big Hagar Whitesnake tour coming up. But
that's the biggest.
Basically, we're busier than hell, man, and we're all digging it because this band wants to work, you know.
Yep.
And you know, and we don't go out and do the 2-3 weeks on a tour bus. We're too old for that shit. So basically, you know, really, I mean, you know, cooped up with a bunch of dudes on a bus every night, you know, traveling around the frickin' country
without a shower.
Yeah, well, no, we shower at the gigs or hotels, whatever. But the thing is, we're so used to this weekend warrior thing where we fly out on Thursdays and play Fridays and Saturdays, like this weekend and next weekend. Mm-hmm. We've got used to that, and it's kind of cool because we fly home on Sundays and we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off to do other projects or whatever we need to do, and then back out for the weekend of Friday and Saturday night shows. So it's been working out real well. But when we do the Whitesnake thing, I think we're doing 2.5 weeks on, a week and a half off, and 2.5 weeks on, whatever it is.
Somebody's got to go home and feed the dog, right?
Yeah, poor dog. He ran away. He was hungry.
Anyway, on that, we will leave it because I know you have to get ready for the show. And merci, as we say. Thank you.
Yeah.
This has been Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. For more exclusive content and interviews, subscribe on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, and many more. Follow Mitch on all the socials, especially Twitter, @Mitch Lafon, and on Instagram, @Mitch_Lafon. Get your Mitch merch now at loudtracks.com/Mitch.